Alright, let's break down this awesome two-part question. It touches on future upgrades and the reliability of components, which are fantastic topics for any PC builder. Part 1. Is a next-gen 8-core Ryzen 5 a worthy upgrade? First, let's tackle your question about the upcoming AMD chips. You're currently using a Ryzen 5 7600X, and you've heard rumors that the next generation Ryzen 5 might have the same core thread count as a current Ryzen 7, meaning 8 cores with 16 threads. Is it worth the upgrade? The first thing to clarify is that right now we're in the rumor stage, not the leak stage. Rumors are just whispers and speculation. Leaks tend to be based on more concrete information. So while we're hopeful, nothing is confirmed yet. That said, do I think it's possible for the next Ryzen 5 to have 8 cores? Yes. Not only is it possible, I think it's highly probable. Let's be honest, AMD's Ryzen 5 line has been stuck at 6 cores for what feels like an eternity. It's the same situation Intel was in with 4 cores for nearly a decade. Now, the tables have turned. A 6-core Ryzen 5 is starting to look outmatched by Intel's Core i5 offerings in multi-threaded performance. AMD has to make a move. Frankly, if the next-gen Ryzen 5 is still 6 cores, I'd have to make a video expressing my sheer disappointment. Even with the current 9000 series, the 6-core 9600X is already struggling to justify its price against Intel's competition. For around the same money, you can get an Intel Core i7 14700K, which simply demolishes it in productivity. Right now, AMD's lower-tier CPUs aren't very compelling. The Ryzen 9s are phenomenal. They're powerful, efficient, and run cool, often outclassing Intel's i9s. AMD has proven they know how to make an excellent high core count CPU. The problem is with their Ryzen 5 and Ryzen 7 lineup. This ties back to a cultural preference we see here in Vietnam. Users want something that is soy thit. A meaty, substantial product that offers a lot of bang for the buck and can do everything well. You want to spend less but get a tool that's great at everything. In this scenario, the current 6-core Ryzen 5 just can't compete with the versatility and value of Intel's 14th gen chips. So, we're incredibly hopeful for an 8-core Ryzen 5. If that rumor turns out to be true, that chip will be an absolute monster in the mid-range market and a massive sales hit. So, the bottom line? Yes, absolutely. An upgrade from a 7600X to a next-gen 8-core Ryzen 5 would be a massive, worthwhile jump. You wouldn't just be getting more cores, you'd also be getting the improved IPC, instructions per clock, of a brand new architecture. It would be a significant performance boost across the board. Part 2. Is out-of-warranty RAM risky? Now for your second question, is RAM prone to failure after its warranty expires? You're considering buying Hangzhou, personally imported Cis Gray, market goods. Let me put your mind at ease. RAM is one of the most durable, reliable components you can put in a PC. It's a tank. Seriously, it's one of the last things that will ever fail. It's more common to go through 4 or 5 motherboard generations before a stick of RAM gives out. The only way RAM typically fails is if it's subjected to an extremely harsh environment, with high humidity, leading to a short circuit. If you keep your PC case in a reasonably dry and cool environment, your RAM will be incredibly difficult to kill. If you ever want to know how reliable a component is, just look at its warranty period. The length of the warranty is a direct reflection of the manufacturer's confidence in their product. Power supplies often have 10-year warranties. They are built to last. Motherboards and GPUs, typically 3 years. They are more complex and have more points of failure. CPUs, usually 3 per 5 years. Very durable. SSDs, varies from 1 to 5 years. RAM, often comes with a lifetime warranty. Now, lifetime doesn't mean your lifetime. It means the lifetime of the product. The manufacturer guarantees it for as long as that specific model is in production. If your stick fails, they'll give you a new one. This shows an immense level of confidence. So, this brings us to the Hangzhou question. Officially, we don't encourage buying gray market goods, as it doesn't support the local economy and can be legally grey. However, speaking from a purely practical standpoint, if you were going to buy a component from the grey market, RAM is one of the safest bets you can make, right alongside CPUs. We would never ever recommend buying a grey market motherboard. The risk is just too high. But for something as fundamentally simple and durable as RAM or a CPU, the chance of failure is incredibly low. So, to wrap it all up, RAM is one of the most robust and long-lasting parts of any PC build. While we don't officially recommend buying grey market products, RAM is one of the few components where the risk is minimal.
If you enjoy this video, please like, share, subscribe and hit the bell to the latest update from my channel. Thank you for watching till the end and see you in the next video.